your opportunity to speak. There it is. You have an opportunity to speak. We will unmute you, but we're going to leave everybody muted, which means you're going to need to use the Zoom controls. So there are graphics and there are icons and there's just waving, which is really exciting. Our celebration is, like I mentioned, being recorded. I'd recommend you check us out in speaker view. To do that, in the upper right's on this side, right-hand corner of your Zoom screen, you should be able to toggle between views, and I'd recommend you choose speaker view. There are going to be 3 simultaneous things happening. So first, the live conversation here. Second, we have a virtual program. It's a website where you can follow along, and you'll find the tons of wonderful things that we have to say about our honorees, but won't have time to during this conversation. You should have received that link to the website this morning. It's also in the chat box at the bottom of your screen, which brings me to the chat. Let's try something. Hey chat. Hey chat, why was the book about mountains so interesting? I'm just gonna leave the chat and its snarky comments over there. If you're easily distracted, stick with us here. If you're looking for a bad pun, you'll probably find them in the chat. So the chat's also going to have more details, questions, giveaways. Speaking of giveaways, we have books and prizes to give away today. On your virtual program, that's that website, you'll find giveaways at the very bottom of the page. So if you scroll all the way down, if you see one that you're excited about, click on the item to enter your contact information before 4:30, and we'll announce winners at the end. A very, very special thank you to bookshop.org, Orville Brown, and Linda Espinoza, who generously donated the gift cards for today's event. Okay, that's housekeeping. We good so far? Thumbs up with housekeeping? It's the most exciting part of the day. I am so thrilled that we are all here together. And speaking of being together, I've got a couple invitations. So if you have a pen and a calendar, this is your time. First, I want to invite you to next month's in-person mixer at Words Alive's new office in downtown San Diego. Why, yes, that's right. You heard it right. A new office. Thanks to Karen and Jeff Silverman, Words Alive has been gifted a 5,000 square foot building in the East Village in downtown San Diego. It's a few blocks from Petco Park and the main library. This means, most importantly, that Words Alive now has a permanent home here in San Diego. So mark your calendars for Thursday evening, May 18th, for the social mixer for volunteers, and then on Friday morning, May 19th, for our ribbon cutting ceremony as we set off to write our next chapter together. Invitations are coming soon. Keep an eye in your inbox. While your calendars are out, Monday, June 12th, we welcome Luis Alberto Urrea to headline our authors luncheon and fundraiser. You might recognize him as the author of The Devil's Highway, The House of Broken Angels, and The Hummingbird's Daughter. He'll be talking about his new book that will release just a few days before the luncheon. I might have had a chance to read an advance copy. It's called Goodnight, Irene, and it's incredible. I have a 5-year-old at home, and even she could not pull me away from this book. It's really incredible. You can find tickets right now on our website under events, and the link I bet is in the chat. Speaking of writing and writing our next chapter, we are also closing a chapter in the Words Alive story this year. This year marks the conclusion of our Words Alive Westreich Scholarship and Mentorship Program. Started 16 years ago, thanks to the generosity of Ruth Westreich, we supported graduates from our adolescent book group as they continued to post-secondary education. Our final 2 scholars are moving on to the next stage of their education and their careers as we sunset the program. When talking about how this program has been impactful in her life, one of our scholars shared this. She said, "I believe that I'm smart enough to accomplish my goals. I believe I'm capable of taking action to make changes, that I can identify those actions and make those changes. And most importantly, because of this program, I believe in myself." As the Words Alive Westreich Scholarship and Mentorship reaches its final chapter, I want to personally thank each of the volunteers, staff, and supporters who helped influence the future for so many young adults. Okay, shifting gears. Again, thank you for being here. You, Words Lives volunteers, have been a consistent force in the lives of our youth, bringing moments of joy, connection, and belonging all through the act of reading together. And we certainly are a force. In the past year, over 1,000 individuals volunteered with Words Alive. Together, we are making an incredible difference in the lives of children, teens, and families. Last year, Words Alive delivered more than 31,000 new books to readers and their families. And across our programs, we saw a 124% increase in the number of learners who spent their free time learning. Choosing to read is a key indicator of demonstrating how our programs are changing habits, behaviors, and attitudes towards reading. Whether you read aloud to children, create learning kits, discuss books with teens, find new titles, write curriculum, share our stories on social media, or advise our staff, you are all part of our solution to create a community of readers. Today's celebration is for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for volunteering. And thank you for helping us connect children, teens, and families to the power of reading. At this point, it is my honor to introduce a tremendous leader and volunteer with whom I have a chance to work very closely, the Vice Chair of our Board of Directors, Laura Cohn.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Super exciting to see all of you and to be here to celebrate our amazing volunteers. Rachel just introduced me. I'm just thrilled to be here. And I think we're joined by a number of board members along with me. If you're a Words Live board member, could you wave, either physically wave or raise your hand with one of the reactions in Zoom? I see Sandra. I can't see everybody. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for all the good work we get to do together every day. Last year, the volunteers of Words Alive together served over 10,000 hours volunteering for this organization and on behalf of the kids and families with whom you work. That work is equivalent to $350,000 invested in helping children connect to the power of reading. It's amazing. And I want to reflect on one other incredible note about our volunteers. We are from 40 states and 27 countries. I just want to say that again, 40 states and 27 countries in our volunteer corps for Words Alive. Thank you all for coming together to inspire our next generation of readers. So it's my honor now to take this moment to recognize 9 extraordinary volunteers who earned the President's Volunteer Service Award this year. President's Volunteer Service Awards honor individuals whose service impacts communities in the United States and inspires others to take action too. And it's my privilege to introduce these volunteers to you today. So, congratulations. Oh, are we going to take it down? Congratulations to Christina Cox, Jane Hopkins, Inez Kraft, Vivian Lynn, Arush Malik, Kaylee O'Hare, Bijan Naruzian, Debbie Wappler, and Yufei Yang. Yay! For those honorees in attendance, please wave and hold up your award if you have it handy. Can we see some of those? Let's see, Vivian. Yay! Christine, give your award. Look, it has a beautiful seal on it. It's great. All right, thanks you all and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Laura, and thank you for your leadership with our board of directors and all you do for Words Alive. All right, it is now, I'm gonna let the tech team catch up for a second. It is now my privilege and honor and excitement to introduce Words Alive volunteer Jim McElhon, who's affectionately known to many of us in the Words Alive community as Mr. Jim. Mr. Jim, would you be game to lead the rest of today's celebration with us?
I absolutely would. Thank
Fantastic.
you. Okay, good. By the way, if there's a little snafu, I want something in the chat room because I got this weird little message saying my internet connection was unstable. And there are aspects about me that are unstable, but hopefully the internet won't be a problem. I can always switch to another network if that's a problem. So let me know. I'm so glad to be here once again this year as part of the cohort of volunteers that we're honoring today. I feel so proud to be part of this group, and it's my absolute pleasure to take part in acknowledging your efforts. So today we are celebrating these communities' accomplishments. We always do that, we start to do that by a very well-known Words Alive tradition. I want you all to work with me here, okay? Left or right, doesn't matter. Put up one of your arms, put it up, or that hand way up high. Now reach back, pat yourself on the back and say, good job, me. I'm here and I'm inspiring our next generation of readers. Now, I want that other hand to go up, way up, pat yourself on the back and say, thank you, me, for doing what I love and what will make a real difference. You are each doing extraordinary work and making such a difference in the lives of families, so thank you. I cannot wait to introduce you to volunteers in our community and the breadth of what we're accomplishing together. There's far more that we'd like to say about each of the honorees than we have time for today. So let's go back to that little trick Rachel used, see if it'll work here. Hey, chat, can you share with everyone a link to that virtual program? Oh, nice, nice. Okay. Well, let's start. And I want to remind everybody to go to that virtual program. If I get too wordy, too fast, too slow, check it out. Let's start, though, by spending some time recognizing a few volunteers who lead our core programs. Our research-based programs are designed to ignite a love of reading by activating trained Words Alive volunteers like you to bring books alive. Now, as I share a bit about each volunteer, I'll ask them to wave and hold up a certificate they received in the mail. So let's get started. As mentioned before, the Words Alive West-Right Scholarship and Mentorship Program was supported by so many in our community. Today, we want to honor the long-standing dedication of two standout volunteers, two ministers of mentorship, if you will, Bijan Nerosian and Tyler Pratt, for their leadership of the Mentorship Task Force and many years of service. I'm thrilled to present you today with the Words Alive West-Right Scholarship Service and Mentorship Award. Now, for the past 2 years, Tyler has been mentoring a scholar at George Fox University. You go, love that. Currently set to graduate next year, and he creates bi-monthly workshops to help scholars with life skills. Bijan began volunteering with the mentorship program in 2018, and he's worked in every aspect of the program, currently leading the program to a thoughtful and graceful conclusion. There's that $1 million smile from Bijan. Thank you for your service, both of you, and congratulations, Tyler and Bijan. Now, helping families with young children connect to the reading to joyful play is the cornerstone of our Let's Read with Words Alive Family Literacy Program, which became one of our core programs in 2014. This year, we will reach nearly 1,000 children and their families through this program. Hey, Ryan Chang, I'm honored to recognize you as our Family Literacy Program Volunteer of the Year. Now, as a volunteer teaching artist, Ryan shares the love of learning with children and families in family literacy sessions. He brings great energy to his sessions and always makes sure each child's voice is heard. So thank you for your service and congratulations, Ryan. Now, reading role models are the linchpin of our Read Aloud program. Launched when Words Alive and Rolling Readers merged in 2016, this is our largest program. Volunteers read weekly in 96 Title I schools throughout San Diego County. And today, Jim Kraft, my fellow Walker Elementary reader, I'd like to present you with our Read Aloud Program Volunteer of the Year Award. Jim has been volunteering with Words Alive since 2014. There you go, raise it high, and generally loves reading to his classes. The students love him right back, as he has been enthusiastically greeted in public by some of the children excited to see their book baba, that's Jim's reading persona, in the wild. Now, speaking of Jim, I wondered if you could share a bit about one of your favorite books you read in the classroom already this year.
I sure can. The name of the book is Drum Dream Girl by Margareta Engel. And it's a story of a little girl on an island where girls weren't allowed to play drums, otherwise known as Cuba. And the story involved a lot of drum instruments. And I brought my electronic drum machine in so that the kids could hear these drums. And at the end of the reading, we played some patterns in the drum machine, and the crowd went crazy. Those kids can dance.
Awesome.
And that's one of my fondest memories of to date at the Read Aloud program.
Awesome. I love the use of the creativity and, of course, the engagement that Jim employed at the end of the session to really get the kids excited and going. We love that connection between music and reading and the joy that that brings in itself. So thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. And thank you for your service and congratulations. Now, since our founding 24 years ago, helping youth connect to and through text has been the cornerstone of our work. Our teen book club model, which is called our Adolescent Book Club, ABG for those in the know, is rooted in this approach, and this year will engage 300 teams. Ellis Van de Bogart, I am thrilled to present you today with the Adolescent Book Group Volunteer of the Year Award. Now, Ellis, there she is a creative an enthusiastic volunteer. Hold it high, way to go. She plans on engaging and thoughtful book. She plans these engaging and thoughtful book group sessions. The middle schoolers she works with respond well to her authenticity and the positive energy. She's showing that positive energy right now too. Hey, thanks for your service, Ellis, and congratulations. Awesome. Love you right back. Words Alive was founded in 1999 to help ignite a passion for reading, and that core vision still guides our work today. In the 24 years since our first book group for teens at Juvenile Hall, our work has blossomed to fulfill the goal of the original Words Alive team, connecting young people from birth to age 18 with the power and the joy of reading. I now have the honor of introducing Leslie Lyons, the founder of Words Alive, to reflect a bit with us. Leslie?
Thank you, Mr. Jim. I will always think of you as Conductor Jim, whose Zoom story times helped get me through the pandemic. Thank you to each of you, not only for being here today, but for also what you do every day. I've met some of you, but not most of you. I've read the bios of our leadership and awardees, and honestly, I couldn't be more impressed. When an organization is first getting off the ground, as Words Alive was almost a quarter of a century ago, there's a lot of adrenaline pumping around, hesitation and possibility. What will the program look like? Will anyone be interested? Can we make this work? What should be our first site, our second program? And the one I asked most, am I crazy for doing this? There's a different energy now at Words Alive. The space is still buzzing with possibility, but we have proof, verified data, that what we do works. We now know empirically that we can and are impact lives by helping people connect to reading. The talent in this room is fueling a movement that builds self-esteem and connects people to the world, to themselves, and to each other, all through the power of reading. You wouldn't be here today if you didn't really already know that reading matters. Yes, skills are important, and I'm thrilled that Words Alive is at the cutting edge of incorporating the science of reading into its work. But the skills are only half the story. The other is the magic that reading brings us, whether we're recognizing ourselves in a character or being transported somewhere we would never visit otherwise. Seeing that moment when we've helped someone recognize that magic is truly extraordinary. We've heard a lot of numbers thrown around today. 5,000 square feet, more than 10,000 volunteers, 27 countries, and we'll hear a lot more during the rest of this hour. But I want to talk to you about additional number. One, the one life changed, the one moment of connection that happens because of what you are doing with Words Alive. The preschoolers shouting, "The readers are here," as Words Alive volunteers enter the classroom. The one teen, and I've heard this so many times, who walks into an adolescent book group discussion and says, "This is the first book I've ever finished. What's next?" The one family sitting around a table doing a craft as they chat about a story, about a book for the first time. These ones wouldn't happen without a different one, the one volunteer who writes curriculum, the one volunteer who blows into the classroom, the one volunteer stuffing envelopes, the one volunteer who 24 years ago said to me, "Sure, Leslie, I'll help." The one volunteer who sits on a board or a committee. Whatever you are doing for Words Alive, you are the one making the magical moments happen. This movement could not happen without you. The one you doing what you are doing, and all the other ones, whether they are on this call or not, who are doing what they are doing. We are truly lucky to have you, each of you, all of you. More importantly, the children and families we serve are lucky to have you. And that makes all the difference. Thank you.
Wonderful. Oh, wow, Leslie, we are so grateful for you and what you have built here. We're just honored to be able to continue on that legacy that you've built, which we know is having real impacts in San Diego and beyond. Thank you for providing a path for all of us to become advocates for reading. Now, as a reminder, gang, if you're interested in entering any of the giveaways, please do so now before they close the submissions. Get in there. There's a lot going on. Now, let's keep going. Words Alive really could not function without the support of volunteers who develop curriculum, manage social media, coordinate volunteer orientations, and so much more. These volunteers are often behind the scenes, so we'd like to bring a few of them into the spotlight. Hadil Jawad goes above and beyond, making sure the stories of our students, teachers, volunteers, and staff are shared nationwide, worldwide that is. For this, we would like to recognize Hadil as our Storytelling Volunteer of the Year. Now, working as part of a team, Hadil schedules and writes our many social media posts across 4 platforms, which last year reached 5,600 people. Hadil, I guess I have you to credit that my Insta feed is always full of Words Alive news. So thank you. We appreciate it. And congratulations, Sadil. Now, every month, dozens of people reach out to Words Alive to learn about how they can help. And Jose Valdez, I'm honored to recognize you as this year's Engagement Volunteer of the Year. There he is, in the flesh. We'd love that. Jose, he welcomes and brings people into the Words Alive community by coordinating volunteer applications, tracking volunteer hours, and so much more. He's really thorough, shows great initiative, and never fails to get the job done. So thank you for your service and congratulations, Jose. All right. You know, I barely believed this the first time I read it, but this year we are on track to distribute a staggering 21,000 learning kits that bundle new books with hands-on activities for kids to keep. Critical to this work are volunteers who put these together. And Mary Petrowski, we would like to honor you as our Learning Kit Legend of the Year. There she is. Oh, and she's got a pet too. Mary is an absolute force at Words Alive craft parties with an eye for detail and ability to organize books, school supplies, and crafts. And when she's at a craft party, we know the work is going to get done. So thank you for your service and congratulations, Mary. Now, our page turners, they're the folks that read, help Jim, they read the books and review hundreds of titles we're considering adding to the curriculum. All those books in our bins at the schools we service. And Adarsh Kamala Khan, I'm thrilled to present you today with the Page Turner of the Year Award. There he is. All right. Since joining Page Turners in April of 2022, Adarsh has reviewed 20 titles and contributed 307 hours, oh my God, to help us find books to inspire the children we serve. Adarsh, thank you for helping us find the outstanding books that anchor our programming, and congratulations. Each book we read is paired with a guide that helps volunteers like me and you, parents, and teachers support students on their journey through that title. I use them myself every week to help ground me with engagement activities and questions I can use when I'm in front of the kids. And today, we have a curriculum that supports 498 different books. Now, it takes an incredible team to create the curriculum that provides this spine, yeah, I get it, another joke, a book joke, the spine of our work. So, thanks to 3 key members of our curriculum crew for their outstanding contributions this year. Kaylee O'Hare as our Curriculum Writer of the Year, Winning Chen as our Curriculum Editor of the Year, and Esther Kim as our Language Accessibility Volunteer of the Year. So let's start with Kaylee. She logged 130 hours writing curriculum guides, all with an incredible eye for detail and remarkable enthusiasm. Kaylee enjoys how her service on the curriculum team has expanded the diversity of books she reads and has helped her become a reader that more deeply connects to the text. Now, Wen Ning edited 7 curriculum guides in 2022, the same year she joined Words Alive. As our curriculum editor of the year, she asks thoughtful questions, and curriculum guides are always in fantastic shape after her edits, ensuring Words Alive is providing children's, families, and classroom volunteers with the highest quality materials. And to make our resources accessible to more families, volunteers translate content into 10 languages beyond English. Our Language Accessibility Volunteer of the Year, Esther, she interprets our curriculum pieces into Korean. She gives the most encouraging and thoughtful feedback, and she's passionate about cultivating a love of literature and reading, particularly in youth who share her background of learning a second language. So thank you for your passion and service, and congratulations, Kaylee, Winning, and Esther. Wow. Phew, I have to say, what an incredible group of outstanding volunteers. Next, I want to, though, give a special thank you to the 30 members of our community who stepped up as volunteer fundraisers toward the end of 2022 and the first month of January for our annual Champions for Youth fundraising campaign. We raised over $120,000 to support our mission. So thank you everyone who participated in that. You can find a full list of the champions in the virtual program. Thank you, champions, and thank you to the incredible 600 donors who participated in the campaign. Now, before we move to our next section of awards, we have a short video to share with some highlights from this year.
Thank you, is the important part of this story.
Wow. Oh, that was so much fun. Watching that video, I'm just amazed at the breadth and scope of the activities our volunteers participate in to help the mission. So that's just awesome. But it's time now, though, to recognize individuals and groups that exemplify our values across all of our programming. So reaching across generations, well, it's a cornerstone of Words Alive's work. Today, 60% of our volunteers are under the age of 25, and roughly 1/3 of our current volunteers are under the age of 18. I'm really thrilled to recognize 3 outstanding young people as our Words Alive Youth Volunteers of the Year: Kiki Lin, Amanda Long, and Livia Meister. So Kiki serves as a Words Alive curriculum designer. She completed 15 kits and guides this year, over half of which required a rapid turnaround. She's really thorough and detail-oriented, enthusiastic about taking on new projects, and an absolute joy to have on the team. Amanda, well, she served on the volunteer engagement team as an engagement analyst since 2021. She works tirelessly to tally volunteer service hours. A member of the California Scholarship Federation, she skillfully balances her busy schedule while maintaining consistent and high-quality service with Words Alive. And Livia, well, she's a whiz at preparing those learning kits, completing a variety of projects at home with friends, right? You bring the posse in, Liv, to do that, you betcha. She's got an eye for detail and a passion for quality. And she also assists with community outreach, Brighton events with her genuine energy and enthusiasm. I see it right there in your smile, Liv. Thank you for your service, and congratulations to all 3 of you, Kiki, Amanda, and Livia. Now, in 2022, we welcomed 284 new volunteers to Words Alive, And I have the pleasure of honoring two of our Rookies of the Year, Cindy Bryant and Mary Tibiatowski. Cindy, she wears many hats at Words Alive. She assists with deliveries, even ones far away from her home, and craft parties. In her first semester volunteering with Words Alive, she read with students in 3 classrooms at 2 different schools. Her enthusiasm and positive energy leaves everyone with a smile on their face. And Mary, well, she joined Words Alive in fall of 2022 and quickly hopped onto multiple teams. She serves as an engagement analyst on the volunteer engagement team. She assists with in-office craft parties, and she reads to 3 different classes at Hamilton Elementary. So Mary, let me just take a second to ask, is there a story or a moment that stands out to you from your first year at Words Alive?
Well, there are many. However, I read to first graders and they can be tough critics. When I first started reading, I sort of got the "and who do you think you are" look from everyone. It has culminated this week. All 3 classes said, "Can we read it again?" And I was thrilled. I think that I finally have cracked the barrier and they're really happy and excited. They also wanted to know what's next week.
Awesome. Yes, those kiddos can be inquisitive, especially about what's coming up next. Well, that's great. Thank you, Mary. We are really thrilled to celebrate you 2 amazing Rookies of the Year. So congratulations to both of you, Cindy and Mary. Now, each year, Words Alive recognizes a Volunteer of the Year, and this individual exudes a passion and commitment to Words Alive mission in really an unparalleled way. So we're joined today by many of our past honorees. You see they're listed there. And I'm honored today to welcome into this group of esteemed volunteers, Rick Seidenworm, to join this prestigious place in Words Alive history with the Words Alive Volunteer of the Year Award. So joining the Words Alive community back in 2009, Rick has served in numerous roles: classroom facilitator for the adolescent book group. He was a developer of a creative writing program for teens. He's been a fundraiser. He's a past board chair and a dedicated board member. So Rick is active in the classroom today, still sharing his love of literature and writing with hundreds of young people. And even though Rick is traveling in Paris and unable to join us today, he did wish to share a few words.
Bonjour. I'm so pleased to be speaking with you from Paris, and I want you to know how much it's meant to me to be a Words Alive volunteer. My first Words Alive volunteering experience. It was at a school called Choice, supposedly named that because a student had this choice of going there or going to juvenile detention. These kids were unruly, somewhat disrespectful, capable of almost anything. But there was a seed, a core of interest in the book that they had read and in the fact that a group of adults were coming as volunteers to work with them and listen to them. That was my first experience. One of my best Words Alive volunteer experiences was watching a young man named Jose, who never talked in class and never was involved in any class activity until one day during a creative writing session, I saw him writing and writing and writing. And I looked over his shoulder and said, "Can I see what you're writing?" And he allowed me to. And he was writing about his favorite subject, which was spiders. And he knew more about spiders than anybody had any right to know. And somehow I got him to read his piece to the class, and they responded by asking him questions about spiders and testing his knowledge. And he had so much knowledge and so much pride that it really changed the course of his school experience. And I still see him. Unfortunately, he moved to Arizona shortly afterwards, so I never saw him physically again, but I can still see him in my mind and his love for spiders. Thank you all. Keep volunteering, volunteers. We need you badly.
Wow, that's awesome. I love the personal nature of his words and the impact it had on him. And I know that you all share similar stories about the personal rewards and fulfillment that comes with the volunteering you do with us. Rick, thank you. You truly make a difference in the stories of so many young people. I hope you enjoy the recording of this celebration over a croissant in the morning. Okay, maybe in the 11th district, 14th, I don't know, but enjoy. Congratulations, Rick, Word Alive's Volunteer of the Year. Wow. What an incredible group. I mean, it's staggering to think about the impact that we make together. So can you guys just please join me in a round of virtual congratulations for all our honorees? Raise the roof, golf claps, thumbs up, whatever. Yes. And so now, for those of you who did enter those giveaways, it's time to announce our winners. So I'm going to turn it over to Christy Stoza, our engagement coordinator, who has been entering names into a random selection program and is here to announce the winners.
Thank you all so much for being here. By random selection, the 2 tickets to the San Diego Children's Discovery Museum go to Candy Brennan. Darius the Great Deserves Better, which is signed by the author, goes to Vivian Lynn. And don't worry, I'm going to be dropping these in the chat and also emailing people to follow up. The Living Coast Discovery tickets go to Anna Maria Cardenas. And the autographed copy of The Status of All Things goes to Yufei Yang. And we have 2 winners for the $50 gift cards for multiple San Diego restaurants, Debbie Wappler and Christy Guerrero. Congratulations. And finally, the California Pizza Kitchen gift card goes to Mary Kay Knock. Like I said, I will also be dropping these in the chat and following up with the winners over email. So thank you again and congratulations.
You're muted, Jim.
I'm unmuted. Oh, I'd gone so far without a mistake. But here we are. So I want to take a moment to extend a thank you to all the staff and volunteers who worked to create this event. There's a lot that goes into it. A special thanks to the chat too. You were fun. And I want you guys to continue to read through the virtual program to learn about our honorees and opportunities on how to connect with Words Alive community. There's also a link in our bookshop.org affiliate page if you're looking to buy a new book while supporting Words Alive. And hey, thank you again for all the work you do. We so appreciate it. Thank you for joining us for this 14th annual Words Alive Volunteer Appreciation Celebration. Thanks you all, and goodbye.
Favorite to win his loser first round. Nice.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for coming.